Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the World Aquatics Junior Diving Championships Rijeka 2026. We are just welcoming the girls A 1 meter springboard final for their presentation. I'll be once again joined with Yona Knight Wisdom.
Good afternoon. How are we?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Warm.
Boy, yes. It's very hot out there on poolside.
Yeah, I went to have a little watch of the training.
Yeah.
Saw all the girls getting prepped for their competition. Some good dives, some shaky dives, but that's how the training session normally goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Emily Demmel definitely did some better hurdles, which is a good sign.
It's good. It's going to build that confidence, hopefully.
Absolutely.
As it's the final of the A girls 1 meter springboard, we will only see 4 optionals. We won't be seeing the requireds this time round, but the requireds, they competed in the prelim, carry over to this event. And if you can remember, Emily Demmel from Germany has the highest scoring requireds at 192.35, followed by Shensia Bozicek from Ukraine with 187.10. That's why the requireds are very important, because you might have a little lead over your competitors going into the final. There will be 7 judges in total. Each judge will mark the dive out of 10. The 2 lowest and the 2 highest scores will be deducted, and the scores left will be added together and times by the degree of difficulty. The divers get to choose which optionals they are competing. But in diving, you can't just change your mind on the board. You can change the dive sheet though after a prelim. Am I correct there, Yona?
Correct, yeah. After a prelim, you have 30 minutes to
make that decision.
Make a change in your dive list, dive order. So normally that change will be premeditated. I've only done it a couple of times when I decided to change to a forward 4.5, for example, in the final.
That's a tactical decision, because some dives are harder, obviously, to compete in the morning and to train in the morning, but in the final, it's the afternoon. You're hopefully a little bit more awake, and the adrenaline will be pumping. So a lot of people do sometimes change their dive sheets.
But I believe in this event, I don't think anyone's changed any dives from the prelim. I think they're all the same. There's no major upgrades that are obvious, so I assume that everyone's kept the same dives.
We're having a little look at the judges. They all look ready. That background noise is the Croatian commentators. We're sharing the room together.
We were speaking earlier about whether a judge could judge an event that they might have an athlete in or something like this. And generally the judges will be independent at this level, but certainly in the final the judges won't have any connection to the divers in there. So as to keep it as neutral as possible. Because obviously it's a subjective sport, opinions matter, and opinions can obviously be swayed based on allegiance or bias or anything like that. So we obviously don't want that to influence the outcome of this event.
Absolutely. As you can see, it's a lovely day here in Rijeka. The sun is shining. There's some clouds on the horizon, but you can't. I don't think that's even going to be picked up on the camera there.
Not like the clouds that we had over the last couple of days as well.
Yep. Hallelujah.
Finally, a nice smooth, rain-free day is what we've been waiting for.
We have our first diver, Si Yi Wang from Hong Kong, in wood 1.5 somersaults pike.
Lovely start with the with 1.5 somersault pike. Now we're going to see the first 6 divers begin with this dive, and then the last 5 divers also. So only one diver, Suri Cueva Lobato, opening on the dive that is not an in 1.5 pike.
Just one diver.
Just one diver out of 12.
Let's have a little mini competition here.
Yeah, let's see.
So, Si Yi scored 45.60. Let's do a little competition. Who's the best at in 1.5 pike? Superb dive. I'm really impressed with these 2 Hong Kong divers. It's great to see them in the final.
7, 7.5, 7, 6.5, 7.
Obviously, we've seen 2 now, but who's your money on to have the best in 1.5 pike?
I'm going to say Leela Stewart. We have Teresa.
Going to go for Nadezhda.
Ooh. Sharp dive. Very clean finish.
8, 6.5, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. Emily Demmel, India 1.5.
So far, Teresa and Singming have the same score, 50.40. We have Emily Demmel, who was leading in the preliminary rounds after the requireds.
Seems like a slightly tense start to the final actually from Emily. Slightly pushed away from the board. A bit rushed. Touched short on the finish, but good pike save.
6.5, 7, 7. 6.5, 7, 7.
7s to count from the judges. And 6.5.
Inward 1.5 somersaults pike.
Emily had some difficulties on her hurdle this morning. 2 out of 3 of them being slightly off where she would want them to be.
You can see Martin Wolfram in the back there on the left. He likes to call himself the German ghost, because I think he's a little bit afraid of the sun. There we have Shenxia Bozcek forming a
6.5,
sharp inward 1.5 pike.
7, 6.5, 7.
Well, yesterday he was wearing a rain jacket, which he got from, I think it was Tokyo for Germany, the Olympic kit. And you know the wingsuit that people used to like kind of fly in?
Yeah.
Looked a bit like that. And it was
surprised
white, so I think that's where the whole ghost thing came from, actually.
I'm surprised it didn't fly off into the distance with the wind yesterday.
Honestly.
Mariah from Australia.
6, 7.5, 6.5, 7, 6.
tidy in with 1.5 pike.
Now we have the only person doing something slightly different here, Suri, with a forward 2.5 somersaults piked. Slightly higher degree of difficulty than the rest of the divers in this round. It's a great hurdle, good lift, lovely dive. Excellent on the save through the water, really sharp. Very strong opening to the competition for Suri.
Sevens to count, scoring 54.60. Highest scoring dive so far. The degree of difficulty was 0.2, higher than everyone else this round.
Elisa Vita, there in 1.5 somersault pipe.
Confident dive there. Heavily strapped on her ankle there.
54. Takes the lead of the best in 1.5 pike so far this round. Doing their best to close up after being slightly behind on the requireds this morning. Jiani Xie from China. Same dive. Once again, lots of strapping on the ankles. I spoke about it earlier. Chinese often use the tape on the ankles for stability of the ankles.
We've got Nadezhda.
This is my pick.
Yeah, your vote for the best inward 1.5 pike this round. Will you be correct?
Gonna need 2 8s and a 7.5 to count to go ahead of Vita. It's a great start, super high. A little bit out of line on the entry, unfortunately, which I think the judges might pick up on. Slightly down, 50.4.
Sevens to count.
I mean, still an excellent half pike, for sure.
You got Root from Mexico. The finals are a lot more, for the athlete, a lot more fun and I feel like enjoyable competition to take part in. They're a lot more quicker as well. Prelim was a very long competition.
Absolutely, you can get into a much better rhythm in the final. Less waiting around, less standing, less time in your own head.
Yeah.
More acting.
But also, there's a little bit extra time in between dives. The prelims can feel quite rushed as you actually are making your way up to the boards, especially for tower, because if you're 10 meters, you've got a long few stairs to go up, and normally each diver, if a diver goes off the board, you then move up to 3 meter, then another diver goes off the board, you go up to 5 meter. But we're all the way down on 1 meter right now.
This is your pick.
Yep, Leela.
I don't think that's going to take it, mate.
No, I don't think it is either. It was really lovely dive, though.
Oh, it has taken it. What do we know?
Come on. I mean, I know.
Yeah, you clearly know. Outstanding dive to open up the competition.
8s to count, 57.60. The end of round 1.
Very good predictions. Emily Demmel retains her lead at the top. The gap has closed slightly from her required advantage. So she's still got some work to do.
Forward 2.5 somersaults, pike.
We have C1. Are we seeing a load of front 2.5 pikes this round? Oh, I think we are.
A few. A few.
Really impressed with their diving.
Yeah, it was an excellent dive. I'd like to see a sharper pike save under the water. She gets a decent takeoff, a bit open in the pike shape, but you can kind of see the way that the bubbles go through the water. She's very shallow. I see her drag her hips down sharp, and that'll mask the over rotation a little bit more.
Yeah.
Forward 2.5 somersaults,
Once again, fantastic to see both of these Hong Kong divers in the final.
C Chang. Did a good job with that. It almost felt like it was a bit stuck on that takeoff.
And that's actually what her partner needed under the water. The really sharp pike save. You can see the difference of how it improves the entry, and again you can see the difference in the score. 4 points more there for Chan.
forward 2.5 somersaults, pike.
Teresa from Czech Republic.
Unfortunately, just had a bit of a step back on her hurdle there, which sent her flying a touch too far forward. But again, good work on the pike save to make a good dive out of it.
6.5, 6.6 to count, 48.10. Here we have Emily.
See how her hurdles are looking this afternoon compared to this morning. Hopefully a little bit more comfortable so we can see what she can do. That's better. Excellent take on a fantastic finish. Beautiful line through the water. She's so powerful. There's real good command of the board.
Extremely tidy in the air as well.
57 points for Emily, takes her back to the top of the leaderboard in 298.
Here we have Shenya, Ukraine. Forward 2.5 somersaults pike.
Now, we spoke about this morning.
We did.
And this time her toes were actually over the end of the board on the single leg, and then she moved backwards, which for me isn't ideal. I would want the placement of the single foot to be a little bit further back, and then you progress forward onto the end of the board. That is where I find the best rhythm, whereas when you step onto the end, imagine the board moves significantly more, and then if you step back, the board's moving less, so you're less likely to get as much height from the board.
Also, the judges will notice that you've gone forward and then back. It'll be quite obvious.
Yeah, it's a distraction for them.
Yeah. We have Maria.
A little bit of a twist there through the water. She was very much in the corner of the board, which probably had an impact, but definitely could see both legs going through the water. So yeah, I think the judges have picked up on that a little bit. That it was upright. That line isn't quite what they're looking for.
We have Suri Cueva-Lobato from Mexico.
Now I want to just have a look at on these back and reverse skills, their technique going into the pike shape. Do the arms almost do a second arm swing around the side into the pike shape, or do they stay more on the ears and move in forwards? And Siri kind of looks like she does a bit of a hybrid between the two. The arms go a little bit wide and then round into the pike shape, but her pike shape's a little bit open. Definitely could be tighter there. Be interesting to see the comparison of the technical movement into the pike shape and how the divers generate speed using the arms, not just the legs, on these dives.
Yeli Saveta. Reverse 1.5 somersaults pike. That was a little bit costly. It's a good hurdle.
Good hurdle, but you see there, she doesn't use the winding. Her arms stayed more narrow and she reached forward towards her legs and didn't pick up any speed. That's why it dropped short. I wonder if she potentially tried the winding, if that would help to pick up a bit more speed through that dive and allow her to make it a little bit easier. Again, it's down to personal preference.
We have Shi Jianyi. Forward 2.5 somersaults pike.
Well done there. She was definitely back from the end of the board. I would say the end is the springy part. That's where you want to land, and when you step back it just gets tighter and tighter, and then the dive becomes harder and harder. But she's very comfortable with that dive, obviously made it work. No, the judges were not as impressed.
Do you think China have sent their A team to this?
Definitely not.
Nope, me neither.
No.
I think they've probably got at least 20
yeah.
divers.
Yeah, if they wanted to, they could send enough divers to win every single event, 1 and 2. But clearly it's not in their strategy for some reason.
Nadezhda. Classy forward 2.5 somersaults pike.
She looks a little bit uncomfortable in her hurdle there, and then because of the step back to not make it go forward, she ended up cutting it in towards the board a little bit, which made her toes a touch too close for my liking. She missed the board. Finished with 46 points in that dive in particular.
We have Ruth Manjaras from Mexico. Same dive, forward 2.5 somersaults in the pike position. 2.6 degree of difficulty. Oh,
that pike shape was wonderful. Lovely shape.
See the balance away from the board there. Comparing it to the diver previously, Nadezhda. Not too close, in the sweet spot, I'd say.
Absolutely, and the judges agree with the 8s to count. 59 points. Brings her close again to Emily now. Lila, reverse, let's see what technique she uses to move into the shape. Now, lots I liked about that dive. First of all, the placement of the single leg, you can see where that is. She moves nicely towards the end of the board. She does a lovely wind in, picks up speed into the pike shape. An excellent dive.
Canada have a great history of female springboard divers.
Absolutely.
The main one to come to my mind is Jennifer Abel. And they have some great coaches over there. And a lot of their junior coaches also coach the senior team.
Absolutely.
Which we don't often see sometimes in other countries.
I believe they have a system where they more or less rotate, so you kind of stay with a group of divers for the majority of their career, and then when that comes to an end, you
drop back down again.
Begin the cycle again, find a new generation,
like
and bring them through. That's why you see Aaron here on poolside, for example, coaching some of these guys when he was someone that coached me and coached Pamela Ware and some of those fantastic divers from Camo in Montreal.
See Yi Wang. A little bit bent legs there on the takeoff.
6, 6.5, 6, 5.5, 6, 6, 6.
That would have cost some points from the judges.
Back 1.5 somersaults.
Yo, Cheng. She is 5th going into this dive, so in the hunt for a medal. Currently only 7 points away from the podium. Lovely start, great shape, nice wind into the pike shape.
Looks very stylish, in my opinion. Beautiful leg form.
Yeah, lovely press out, very confident.
Clean through that water.
I'm not sure about Judge 7's 5.5, seems quite low compared to what I saw from here. As you said, it's subject to opinion, and remove the top and bottom scores to get the average 3.
Teresa. Gelling cover. Good use of the knee save on the entry. Lovely form. I would like to potentially see her almost block her arm swing and coming over close to the board. But that's me being picky.
Well, at this level, you've got to be picky.
Yep, and I guess that is our job to commentate on what we see.
The judges being extremely picky, and it's those details that count for every point.
Emily Demo.
Great hurdle from Emily there. Beautiful start. Fraction pulled over with the shoulders. She was so high. A great job of stopping that. Holding down a good entry with a good knee save. Judges rewarding the height, the elegance, the control, even though it wasn't a super clean entry, but shows you how valuable all those other elements are.
Exactly.
Rather than just getting too focused on the entry. Ksenia. The reverse from the half somersault piked. She was in third going into this round, and that's a slight error. A little bit in the corner of the board again, but as she pressed out, she stayed a little bit too piked for too long. Didn't stop the rotation enough, and 39 points from the judges. Gonna drop her down away from that podium fight a little bit too much. She's now 25 points behind Emily.
Mariah. Strong hurdle. Good jump out of the board.
Super powerful.
Six and a half, 7, 6.5 to count, 48.
Surrey with her reverse 1.5 somersaults, 1.5 twist. Seventh going into this round, but not super far away from the podium places. She made a good quality dive here. But she's got, it's amazing, these Quavo Legatos, this family are just a phenomenal group of divers.
It's just a trio of great divers, all
Yeah.
3 of them. I'm sure there might be more.
Well, apparently they've got a younger brother.
Oh my god.
I know. And there could be more than that as well.
Yeah.
About to come and take over the sport.
I know, it's quite rare to see.
Yeah, let's beat it. 14.5 somersaults piked. Great hurdle. Love that. I just wanted a sharper lockout before she hit the water. She just went through in a slight pike shape. The judges are really looking for a nice full straight line through the water, and there you can clearly see that she's still rotating on the way through. 7s to count. There's a 54 points. Keeps her in the mix.
At this level of competition, if you want to be fighting for those medals, you really can't be affording any mistakes.
Yeah, particularly on 1 meter when all the difficulties are so similar.
And there's only 4 rounds of diving.
Yeah, it really comes down to the fine details. A lovely start, a little bit arched through the water. You know, it's clean. Form is good, but it's not the usual sharpness you see from Chinese divers, which is why it makes us think that maybe it's not quite their A-team.
Yeah.
But divers that are in need of experience, which is valuable for them, and it's amazing that they can send divers to gain experience and they're still good enough to win medals at this level, you know, sometimes. So
Shows the depth they have.
absolutely, but we probably see more mistakes from Chinese divers here than we're used to.
They touched it. Very smooth back 1.5 somersaults pike. Little splashy on that entry.
down to route. She's in second place. Last round, chasing down Emily Demel. Good attempt, but slightly loose, hitting the water. Missed the line slightly.
Beautiful pike shape.
Affect her progress towards Emily.
6.5,
Lowest scores from the judges, 44 points. Keeps her in second place for now, but 20 points now behind Emily, which with one dive to go you think is probably going to be quite challenging to overcome.
Final diver of this round, Lila Stewart. Reverse 1.5 somersaults, 1.5 twist. That's
Again,
the hurdle you want, right?
yeah, I really like the way she goes about her hurdle. Beautiful control, beautiful timing, super high. Good line to finish. Needed a slightly cleaner rip, but very solid dives. Puts her in second place, 15 points behind Emily, and this is where Emily's advantage is really starting to prove strong from her requireds, given a bit of breathing room.
Only one more round to go. It's a very important round. The medals are up for grabs. There will be a champion crowned. The last World Championships in Rio in 2024, first place with 404.45. We could see that score being reached.
Very tight from 4th down to 9th, but there is a 6-point gap between 3rd and 4th.
The third place at Rio scored 355, and Emily's already on that score with a dive to go.
Wow, remarkable performance so far. Great dive to finish from one. Nice reverse 1.5 somersaults pike. Slightly bent knees coming into the pike shape, which we'd prefer to not see. Should be fully locked, leaving the boards, moving into the pike shape, particularly in this 1 meter event where, as we've spoken about, every tiny detail makes a difference.
It really does.
Chan's 5th coming into this dive. Currently 8 points away from the podium, so she's going to need something quite spectacular. She's delivered, that was pretty good.
That was really nice. A little bit back from the end of the board, but nothing drastic.
Yeah, I love her technique, the wind into the shape, the press out, super flat, super sharp. Score might not quite be enough to get onto the podium by the end of the event, but what a fantastic performance throughout the prelim and final for Wang and her teammate Chan.
Got a little bit nervous then on that takeoff, but she was absolutely fine. It was a bit shouldery. Well, quite a lot shouldery there.
Yeah, and that's what ultimately influenced the end of the dive. Lost the control from the start. As we've spoken about before, the adrenaline, the extra energy that you feel, and sometimes you do things that are slightly unusual for you. But here we go with Emily, with her last dive to secure the gold medal, potentially. Reverse 1.5 somersaults, 1.5 twists.
Deep breaths.
She gives herself a decent hurdle to set up with, and
A little bit splash on the entry.
it's just what we need for her. She seemed a bit nervous. She slightly overstepped the single leg, a little bit too far over the end of the board, but 411 points in total. And I'd pretty confidently crown her as today's champion.
Yep. And that kind of explains the importance of those required dives,
Absolutely.
because she already had a little bit of a lead on top of everyone else at the start of this comp.
100%. And, you know, everyone else already knows that they have to play catch-up, so their dives have to be even better than hers. And once they see Emily doing good dives, especially the fact that she's early as well, it probably helps her being early. They see her doing good dives, it's going to make them more tense. They have to fight harder to do a good dive, which
pressure's on them now.
Leads to more mistakes quite often. And there goes Ksenia with her final dive, 46.8. Ksenia's actually left 0.45 behind Chan from Hong Kong.
No, there with a reversed 1.5 with 1.5 twist. A little bit tight to that board, but definitely not dangerous. Scoring 7.67 to count. 52 points, ending on 362.35.
So Chan from Hong Kong's managed to gain a place. Ksenia Rijeka's fallen back. Suri finishing with a really sharp.
That was beautiful dive.
Him on the half pipe.
Very classy. One of the tidiest entries we've seen today on the 1 meter. Ending on 373.90. Elizaveta.
Strong dive, slightly too far away from the board for me.
I think I'd find that shrimp on the side of the pool there a little bit distracting.
Is that what we're going? Is it a shrimp? Is that confirmed?
It's definitely not a lobster.
Well,
it's too
I don't know.
orange for a lobster.
Yeah, I was a bit confused yesterday. I'm not going to lie.
A Croatia known for their shrimps.
Are they?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Guess.
I mean, we're right next to the sea, so maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe if we go wade out, we might find some.
Shi Zhangji. Reverse 1.5 somersaults, 1.5 twist.
You can see a little loss of form there in her legs throughout the twist, which is unusual from China. She'll finish off the podium, unfortunately, but she seems happy with her efforts. Good learning opportunity for her.
Nadezhda Trifonova. Reverse 1.5 somersaults pike, 2.4 degree of difficulty. That's the shrimp I was on about.
Well, the shrimp super happy, but I'm not sure Nadezhda will be. Fortunately, just leaving that dive quite short, a bit stuck, stepped back on the hurdle. In the competition in the strongest way that she was hoping for.
Interestingly, she would have, you know, the scores from 2 years ago, that would have been a bronze medal.
And she's, what, in 8th place?
Yep, currently.
Once again, standards are rising, which is fantastic to see. There we go. Ruth. Her opportunity to confirm a medal. Another medal for Mexico. Her back 1.5 somersaults, 1.5 twists. She's choosing to do this backwards, whereas the other girls have done this reverse.
Oh, lovely.
That's
Couldn't that's enough.
100% enough.
Very controlled, precise entry.
7s to count from the judges. 53 points, 389.
Currently in 2nd place.
Guarantees Mexico another medal, but what colour will it be? Lila, currently in 2nd place, needs 50 points to go ahead of Rut.
Wow.
Great. Once again, I love her hurdle.
Yep.
So nice. Has a lovely flow to it, very controlled.
There's a lot of pressure on that dive there.
Absolutely. She missed the end slightly. That'll be enough to get her into second place.
Yeah. Giving us all a wave. Everyone back at home in Canada cheering her on,
Judges are keeping us waiting.
as they always do, to build.
Build the tension.
Yep. And there she goes, rank 2. That'll be a silver medal there for Lila Stewart.
398, just missing that 400 point mark, which would have been a fantastic performance, but regardless, amazing stuff from Lila. Congratulations to the medalists.
Really impressed with Emily Demel. Really dominant all day.
Yeah, she did exactly what she needed to do. Good requireds, get through to the final. Doesn't really matter how the optionals are. Shake it off, come back and show what you're all about. Oh, I think, yeah, Joe just confirmed it is a shrimp.
Yes.
I heard that, so yeah, you're correct.
Glad about that. Of course, we have Rut Manjeras in the bronze position. Congratulations to her.
There you go. Straight into the medal ceremony. Yeah, it looks like we're just waiting for the medals themselves.
It's a great feeling when you've finished the competition and you know you're on the top 3. You can just be like, it's all over. All the hard work has gone into this. Now I always like to treat myself with like a pizza or something evening after, even if I did rubbish.
What about if you had the competition the next day? Nope.
Different, yeah, it's very different.
It's hard when if you win a medal and you got to go again.
Yeah,
It's
really
tough.
difficult.
And that's actually the exact situation for these girls. They have their 3 meter prelim tomorrow morning. 9 o'clock start.
That's a brutal.
You know, Emily and these girls, if they're all competing on 3 meter, I think they are, gonna have to, get their medals, get straight on the bus back to the village, wind down, get some food, early night sleep.
Yeah. Sometimes it can be very hard to sleep after a competition day because it takes a long time for the adrenaline to wear off.
Yeah, I always found it tough.
I always felt like I'd be in bed wired.
Yeah.
And then you're also kind of going through the competition in your mind as well whilst you're trying to sleep. Congratulations to our champion of the girls A 1 meter springboard. She was the World Aquatic Junior Diving Group A girls 1 meter champion. That's Germany with 2 gold medals in the individual events so far. They've always had a very strong team in the junior levels. We'll be having a small break and then we'll have the boys group B platform final. So I hope you all tune in for that. I promise you it's going to be an exciting one.
Oh, I'm excited for it, that's for sure.
Thank you very much and we'll see you in a bit.